Our museum is over 110 years old and seeks to portray the ethnic diversity that is found in Melville and area, and to preserve the history of early years in our province. We have themed rooms throughout 4 floors that help us tell that story. We have the chapel, which is furnished with artifacts acquired from local Lutheran churches. We've got the railway room with the history of the Grand Trunk Pacific and later the CNR. We have military rooms with artifacts of interest, including the World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. They also feature a unique collection of artifacts from the sailors of the HMCS. We of course have the classrooms, where it all started with 32 young men in 1914. Then there's the tool shed, a visual reminder of how labor-intense life used to be. We've got the sports room, which explores historical accomplishments of Melville's successful athletes. In 1981, this building was declared a National Historical Site, and from 1983 to the present, we are proud to call this building our Melville Heritage Museum.
Welcome to the Yorkton Brick Flour Mill, a gem from 1898 that's been through quite the journey. This mill has witnessed many significant periods, each leaving its mark on the structure and its surroundings. The brick mill we see today was constructed in 1898 by John Joseph Smith, or J.J. Smith, a notable farmer and businessman. The bricks came from his own manufacturing plant, which was known for producing high-quality materials. Sifters played a vital role in separating the flour from the bran and germ. Pipes were used to transport the grain and flour between different machines, creating an efficient workflow within the mill. The roller mills were a significant advancement, replacing the traditional stone grinding method. These machines used steel rollers to crush and grind the grain, producing finer flour more efficiently. Once the flour was milled and purified, it was packaged in cloth bags, ready to be distributed to local bakeries and markets. The drive shaft was a crucial component, powering the various machines within the mill and ensuring smooth operation. A photo wall showcases visitors over the years, capturing moments of joy and discovery. Inside, you'll find a quilt depicting the mill's history, each patch telling a different part of its story, including the elevator. There's also a detailed model of the mill, offering a miniature view of its intricate design and structure. Don't miss the Edwardian garden, inspired by early 1900s English gardens with a relaxed, natural style. Out front, there's an old wagon, a reminder of the mill's role in transportation and trade during its peak years. Storyboard signs around the mill depict Yorkton's rich history, providing context and stories from the past. Lastly, explore the historical crops area, where you can learn about traditional farming practices that sustained the community. That's our exploration of the Yorkton Brick Flour Mill. This journey through time has shown us the resilience and ingenuity of those who built and maintained this mill.
I'm Mason Hausman. The National Doukhobor Heritage Village, located in Veregin, Saskatchewan, strives to instruct the public on the history and the heritage of the Doukhobor. We strive to tell this story through hundreds of artifacts and multiple Doukhobor buildings that originated from nearby villages. The museum is open from June 1st to August 31st, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., 7 days a week. Now this is the main building of the museum. Here it holds multiple Doukhobor artifacts and Russian heritage farm implements. We have pictures of the Doukhobors on their voyage to Canada. We have pictures of Doukhobor villages from nearby. Located also in the middle, we have Peter Veregin's coach that he would have ridden when he was checking out all the villages. This fabulous wood carving showcases the burning of the arms from 1895, a main point of interest in the history of the Doukhobors. Also here has the prairie harvest, showing the Doukhobors when they came to Canada, their time in the fields.
Welcome to the Kamsack Powerhouse Museum. I'm Lydia Cherkis and I'm going to take you on tour. And here we have the last remaining generator of 6 that supplied power from 1914 to 1958 to Kamsack and surrounding area. It was run on anthracite coal, and in 1958, SaskPower took over. This is our cultural and religious section of the people that lived in Kamsack and surrounding area. And here we have the pioneer kitchen with the basin and water jug, the wooden box for wood burning for the stove. We have the Victorian dishes, and we have the telephone that was using crank. And then out here we have the grain wagon dating to the 1900s. And also we have the tractor from days gone by and the horse-drawn buggy.
This room features early settlers' tools and pieces from a local blacksmith named a local farmer named Mr. Dan Yerkew. His workshop was highly mechanized, and the primary feature of which was a drive shaft running throughout the shop. Perhaps you can visualize belts dropping down from the shaft to the two-stroke engine which drove the shaft, and further belts dropping down to specialized pieces of equipment, clutch controls such as this trip hammer. The shop also included a special handmade lathe to shape iron or steel rod pipes into perfect round forms and sizes with a high level of precision. Now, Mr. Yerkew was very creative in custom building his workshop, but it is especially humbling to think that he did so utilizing only scrap materials and materials that were found off of abandoned equipment in his farmyard.
And this is our one-room schoolhouse that housed the grades from 1 to 8, as you see by the different sizes of the desks. This is the front of the classroom with the blackboard and a unique way of calling the class to come in from outside. Here we have all the machinery that was used by the early settlers. First were the ones that were horse-drawn, and then the others once the tractor came on the scene.
Welcome to the Preeceville District Heritage Museum. We are a relatively new museum, only started in 2005, so we'll have our 20th anniversary next year. We want to show you our clay oven and a little bit of our storyboards outside before we move inside. Storyboards were set up in 2005 to honor one of the anniversaries. Our clay oven is built by some pioneers in our area, and we use it 3-4 times a year. The bread turns out very nice and it smells really good. It is made up of 25 theme rooms. We will show you some of them. This one is our fashion room, and this section is wedding dresses through the ages. The next room we're going to enter is the second of our fashion rooms, and this one shows dresses. This first dress you see, the brown and the cream, is a mother-daughter combination. And then there's many other colorful dresses and hats in this room. And we try to keep them to preserve and to show. The young girls, when they come from the school tours, just love this room. And they're very fascinated by the clothes and the styles of these different eras. The museum has 3 theme rooms for the cultures that settled in our area. We have the English room, the Ukrainian, and the Scandinavian room. That our purpose is to honor the pioneers of the area that settled and worked. This first room is the English room, and we have a lot of artifacts that focus in on the king and queen. This room is the Ukrainian room, which obviously focuses on the Ukrainian pioneers of the area. They were very colorful with their red and white, and so we try to focus in on that with their wedding cakes, their music, and their decorative Easter eggs. This room is our Scandinavian room, which is the third group of our culture that we focus in on. This one has the ethnic costumes of the era, some of the dolls, the organ, and a lot of memorabilia from Norway and Sweden. The room features the country school. So we have the map, some of the desks, a lot of the textbooks. We have a water fountain, water cooler, globe, and even the old stove in the corner.